This is your communication podcast with Teresa. Hi guys, we're back again with our unit number 2, and this time we're looking at the verbal and non-verbal side of persuasion as well as the theoretical groundings. But for now, we actually have a little schmankerl coming up, as they say in Germany. We are going to talk about Packard's 8 hidden needs to do with persuasion. Just to orientate you a little bit, we are now moving into the commercial realm of persuasion. We have looked at democracies and equalities and freedoms in Unit 1, and it was a very political look at persuasion. And now we're looking at how advertisers, for example, or marketing communication specialists are using persuasion for their advantage. We actually just want to take a second to appreciate, or maybe lament, depending on where you're coming from, the amount of persuasive messages that we are confronted with on a daily basis. Actually, a world without persuasive messages or advertising messages is pretty much a world that cannot be conceptualized anymore in our minds. There are some statistics out there that say that you're confronted with about 6,000 persuasive messages every day. Obviously, signage and stuff like that is included in that. But just think about your browsing. Just think about the kind of banners that are coming up on the side of your internet sites that you're frequenting, or the kind of product placement that you see in your Netflix series. These are all persuasive messages. So we want to start off with the verbal side of persuasive messages, and there are 3 things that you please have to keep in mind. When you're trying to persuade somebody, you want to consider human emotions, and the human emotions that are on the list are needs, attitudes, as well as consistency. Let's start off with our needs. Why do we want to appeal to them? Very, very simple. Unsatisfied needs is what gets you off the couch, is what rocks your boat, is what makes you purchase. Now, of course, if you want to appeal to these needs, you first want to find out who your recipients are and what kind of unsatisfied need they actually feel within their lives. Packard has put together a framework of needs that advertisers very often use and that seem to hit a nerve with audiences as well. And he talks about hidden needs because audiences are very often not aware of them having the needs in the first place. One of the most essential needs that we all have is to feel emotionally secure. In a way, we want to be different, but at the same time, we also want to know that we're just like everybody else, that we have problems like everybody else, that we are somehow well adjusted, and that we are not weird in any shape or form. So advertisers, of course, know about your need for emotional security, and they shamelessly exploit it. For example, in the Always Ultra advert that you are seeing here. Actually, female sanitary products seem to very often relate to this particular need. So any advert that will promise you comfort, happiness, and the banishment of bad feelings definitely falls under the hidden need of emotional security. You will see that Packard is maybe not as up to date with what's happening right now as he should be, because he actually talks about a similar need being different for girls and boys. For girls, he says, we have a strong need to have our value affirmed. Just think about a housewife and how often housewives feel underappreciated or feel that they are not being recognized for all the hard work that they're doing. Teachers, the same thing. So ladies like to have their value affirmed, and L'Oreal does a very good job with that by actually telling you that you are worth it. Okay, so that is really spelling it out for people. But there are many other adverts that promise you that you are worth something, that you're important, that you're good. Also, how can you have your value affirmed? By helping others. So any kind of advert that plays into that need would be affirmation of value. As I said, Packard has the same need, but for different genders. So ego satisfaction is basically the male version of affirmation of value. I would challenge you to actually find an advert that deals with ego satisfaction on the female side. But let's have a look what ego satisfaction is all about. Packard is very right when he says the easiest way to get people to buy something is through their ego. In Germany, we say you're smearing honey around somebody's beard in order to get them or in order to catch them. Okay, so basically you are pleasing them, you are appealing to their ego, you are complimenting them, you're telling them how great they are. And X has basically made this particular need their advertising strategy. In no uncertain terms, they are telling you that if you're using X, the girls will be after you. By the way, the advert on the slide that you see is an X advert that they actually got into a whole lot of trouble for obstruction of an exit sign. So you have the normal exit sign that you would see in any other building. Very brilliant. They got fined quite severely for it, but I think the publicity that they received from this very innovative advert far outweighed the fine that they had to pay. Then we have need number 4, the creative outlet. Basically, Packard says that modern day life is actually quite mundane and quite routinized, and we are craving to break the routine. We are craving to do something different. So anytime an advert tells you to get creative or to self-actualize or to do something crafty, you are sitting in the hidden need of a creative outlet. Here you can see I've chosen the bedazzler. I know that's not even a thing anymore. Maybe it's coming back. Everything is coming back. But even things like cook something different or make your own cards would fall under this particular category. Love objects is a biggie as well. People spend a lot of money on their love objects, and love objects can be very different things. On the slide, you can see the doggies. Absolutely, people buy a lot of good food for their doggies. They buy insurance for their doggies. They buy bedazzled, here we have it again, bedazzled leashes. But a love object can also be a famous person. Think about the Justin Bieber fans or the One Direction fans. They are going out all the way, and they drop a lot of cash on their obsession with these boys. Actually, some advertisers use love objects that are not even related to their products. Think about the toilet paper with a little Labrador. I mean, just the fact that you see the Labrador, you're just melting inside. I'm sure you've had that feeling before as well. Need number 6 is the sense of power. Also a very important need, I would say. Basically, everybody wants to have power, everybody wants to be strong, everybody wants to have a certain status, and in our society, power is very much equated with money, having status symbols and having a lot of money. But I would like you to take note of the composition of the advert that you see here with BMW, because it actually is photographed from a frog perspective, which makes the BMW look bigger. So just the photography would suggest that you are on top of things when you are driving the new one from BMW. Just to sum up, any advert that emphasizes solidity, reliability, as well as you being in charge once you buy the product relates to the sense of power. Another lovely need that Packard has identified is the need for roots. And in a world where we are moving around a lot and we're migrating and we're going to different places in order to work, actually our need for roots is starting to become very important for us. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling that we get when we're reminded of maybe the parents' house or the grandparents' house and the smells and aromas and the food and the ways of doing things. And advertisers know that, and they will bring up those feelings of nostalgia. They will bring up you craving where you came from or you being proud where you came from. So Cadbury's idea to bring out a local is lekker range was definitely a good one. The last need, and guys, I need you to please watch out here. It's not immorality, it is immortality. Immortality, as in not dying, living forever. And advertisers love to appeal to this kind of need because they know everybody wants to live forever. Everybody doesn't want to age. Everybody wants to create a legacy for their family and their loved ones. So immortality is rife when you're looking around in adverts. And basically, the idea is to, exactly what I said, continue your legacy, never age, preserve what you have. So any adverts to do with age-defying products, like for example, anti-aging creams or the service of a plastic surgeon, would all fall under immortality. But of course, your normal life insurances and things like that also. Packard, for me, makes a lot of sense, much more sense than Maslow, for example, and I really think that he has captured the modern day needs that are out there. We obviously know that needs and wants are not the same thing, and that maybe some of the needs that he brings forward are indeed wants and not so much needs. But hey, I think it's a lovely modern way to describe the longings of people and the longings of audience members. Please have a good look at these eight, know them very well, and you would probably have an easier job answering any sorts of questions when you're preparing yourself by finding some adverts that showcase these needs. Good luck with that, and I'll see you for Maslow in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it, Schnookies. Until next time, bye!